Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and we're late again, but I'm the only one here. But uh, that's because today I'm just not feeling great. I've been a little bit under the weather. Was kind of debating if I even should do the podcast or not, but I figured I might as well get predictions in and stuff, and then yeah, I'll just get it in so I can have them today. So we're just gonna do a really quick podcast again. I'm sorry because we just did a really quick podcast yesterday because we are late, but that was for Salty Team and that was fun. This is more being sad and like not feeling great. So I will. We're just gonna go over power rankings today, and then I'm gonna do power rankings on the fly actually. And I definitely think that Griffin is number one, Kingzone is number two, and then we're gonna do predictions as well. Sorry, I didn't finish that. Let's see. I'm I'm a fan of SKT, but they're worrying me a bit. But there's not really a team that I would put. Like it's almost like I don't want to put them third. So you get. By the way, you get to see how I do my power rankings here. Definitely Griffin and Kings are number 1, 2. I think that they've stepped up again. I'm still worried with Griffin with the playoffs situation. Maybe it's and they've already lost a game though, so it's not like this undefeated. We don't have this like undefeated Griffin in games and undefeated like unkillable Chovy scenario. So maybe the pressure is a little less this year. Now they got those over with already. Um, we have SKT number 3, that's for sure, because I don't trust these other ones, honestly. I'm gonna actually move Sandbox. Where did I have Sandbox? I had Sandbox at number 7. So these two move up. He's a move down. Sandbox, I had number 7. I was wrong. I'll admit that. I was not right at all about this team. I thought that they look really good. They look much better than I thought they were going to this year. I think I had them at 7 or yeah, I had them at 7. So I had them missing playoffs and everything. And I think that after watching their first 2 games, even though I know they're 1-1, I really like what I saw from them. Enough compared to some of these other teams. I'm still gonna keep KT number 5. They kind of worry me a bit still, but I'm not like 100%. I think that I'll have Gen G coming in here at number 7. They're gonna be a move up. Actually, no, I liked what Gen G did. I'm gonna put Gen G number 6. Did Hama beat Gen G? No. Shoot, what was it? Hama Life. Schedule. I don't remember. Hama beat KT. That's what it was. It wasn't Gen G. Kingzone beat Gen G, and Gen G beat Damwon, which I'm pretty impressed with. I've been very disappointed with Damwon, by the way. Like that loss to Gen G was really bad. I'm lost with Griffin. They always lose to Griffin, so that's understandable. So we're actually gonna go back here. Go back. Yeah, and Gen G is going to be number 6. I'm gonna put Damwon number 7. Hanwon number 8. And then I'm missing someone. No, I'm not. Afrika, they did beat SKT. Whoop! This is how power rankings go. I put some teams in, and then I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. So we're actually gonna move. So Hama did beat KT, so we're gonna move KT down. We're gonna move Afrika all the way up to number 5 because I've actually liked what I saw from Afrika a lot this week. I just didn't notice them down there. They took 1 game from Griffin and they beat SKT. That's fantastic by Afrika. Moving them all the way up to number 5. We're gonna put Hanwha Life 6. We're putting KT number 7. Damwon 8. There we go. Gen G. I'm sorry. I just said I like Gen G a bunch, and I just literally threw them into 9. No, let's do Gen G there. Damwon. Damwon worries me a ton. Like all of a sudden, all their mistakes towards the end of the year that they were making, after like they started out really good, then they got really bad, then they got really good when they added Flame, and now they kind of like fell off in the playoffs. They just got exposed really hard. I'm seeing a lot of that being exposed again, and I think that what I thought was going to happen with Sandbox is actually happening to Damwon. So that is a worrying trend for me. I know it's only 0-2, and anything can change so far this early into a season. But yeah, I'm not too sure. So the final power rankings are Griffin, Kingzone, SKT, Sandbox, Afrika, Hanwha Life, KT, Gen G, Damwon, and Jin Air. So those are the power rankings. We're just gonna go straight into predictions. That was crazy, by the way, seeing how much SKT is struggling against almost losing to Afrika and or almost losing to Genji and then losing to Afrika. Like this is MSI, man. I've talked about it on the LPL podcast, and since the LPL podcast, like freaking IG lost to Victory 5 as well, who's one I would have argued is the worst team in the LPL at the moment. And yeah, so they've lost another one. Uh, since that LPL podcast, Team Liquid has also lost to CLG. That's not a very good team either. So all the teams are struggling except for Genji, and it's just I think burnout personally. They'll get better by the end of the year, but for right now, power rankings are a week to week basis with a little bit in between. So that's why SKT has fallen to 3. I think I also have Team Liquid 3. I believe I put IG number 4, but they're gonna fall a lot, like a lot more coming up because there's a lot of good LPL teams. Anyway, let's get into live predictions for this. Sorry again for such a quick podcast, but I took like 4 ibuprofens before this, and I'm just like, so I'm feeling a little bit better now. But like, ooh, my head, basically since like 2 p.m. You ever have that feeling where you just have like someone like it feels like they're hitting a hammer into like the back of your skull, like the front of your skull, I guess. That's kind of how it's been since 2 p.m. for me. So it's not been great. I shouldn't have played League. That didn't make it feel any better. I played some games today. Anyway, Hama Life versus Afrika. I'm actually going to go Afrika in this game. I think that I've been very impressed with their they 1 game win against Griffin and their 2-1 against SKT. I think that yeah, I'm just those are the 2 best teams I thought in the league. And I mean, they're still probably going to be by the end of the year, but Kingzone will be up there as well. But it's a Afrika team who I thought very struggled. Like I don't like all the roster swaps. I know it's like cool to have all these players, but I just think that you get 5 players, they're solid players. Even if one's like a tank player, and one's a like he's better on a Jace or something like that than someone else. It's like they're not getting. That means you're splitting up reps in practice and scrims in practice, so they're not scrimming and not synergizing as a team. And I really, as a person who plays tanks and stuff, really focus on team play and team fighting. Like split push and get out of here. I know it's important, guys. No, but like for me personally, when I say like get out of there, I'm looking at how you synergize as a team, how you help your ADC, and how you help anyone who's fed on your team, like kite for them in position properly to protect them and get a proper team fight in. And that's what I like to see in teams. And when you are rotating like 10 or I forget like almost 12 players last year or something like ridiculous. Like again, you're splitting the reps and you're not centered. You're not getting those practiced team fights in for like the same squad every time, so they don't know each other's tendencies as well as they could. I'm sure they still know them pretty well because they're on the same team, but you know what I mean. Like if you practice, it's always practice makes perfect, you know. And if you practice 100 times with the same guys, it's a lot better than if you're practicing like 35 times with the same set of people. So if they continue to keep this 5-man roster, I think that Afrika will be much better than they did in Spring Split last year, possibly even a playoff team. I have them winning this one 2-1. Ooh, Griffin versus Sandbox is next. I think Griffin is still very solid. I know I just rose Sandbox up quite a bit after putting them all the way in 7th to start the year. I was really worried about this team because they also looked like they got exposed. Both Damwon and Sandbox looked like they got exposed in playoffs a bit, and I was kind of worried because they were the bright spots of LCK in spring last year. I think at the beginning of the year, almost everyone had them in last place to between like 7th and 10th for sure. No playoffs for sure. I think everything surprised us with how bad Gen G and KT and all of them ended up being Afrika. And I think that those teams are starting to get better a little bit after playing with each other. And then like, I think the gap that how do I put this? Sandbox and Damwon took advantage of a very good situation where the meta had completely shifted and some of the older teams were refusing to adapt to it. And I think now that they've showed that gets you near last place and that you cannot play like that anymore. Really, a lot of teams are practicing it kind of this summer split and trying to adapt to it. And I think that over the course of the year they'll get much better at it. They might be weak now, like example in NA's FlyQuest and Team Liquid. They're doing that, and they're kind of weak at the moment, but they'll be good. They'll be better off for it as long as they can continue on, especially teams like Team Liquid, SKT. I think SKT is trying it as well, and it's like you just gotta adapt. You really this meta is not going away anytime soon unless ADCs get a massive buff, which they're not going to. I don't think it's in the works anytime at the moment. It even supports you to massive or junglers. Junglers right now as well are kind of underpowered. It's all about your mid and top laners. Anyway, I think Griffin will be able to handle Sandbox, even though I will give Sandbox a victory over Griffin because Griffin does not look nearly as invincible this year as they did at the beginning of Spring Split. And pretty much until they faced SKT in the finals. Next, we have Jag versus Gen G. This is a rematch of one of the games that I fell asleep to. Honestly, Jag taking a game of away from SKT was very, very impressive. Then the next series, they kind of didn't. They just, they didn't do much again. But I can't say that. Jin bless their heart. Let's click on them. Guess we can't click on them there. But Jin is playing much better this split, even though they're 0-2, and they haven't won any games. They won a game against SKT, but then didn't they lose? Yeah, they got 2-0'd by KT at the beginning. That's what it was. My bad, I forgot that. But yeah, they got 2-0 by KT. I'm like, well, but they played decent against KT. It wasn't like a blowout. This Jin team that I'm used to from Spring Split just if you guys watch any Jin games, I'm sorry, and two, they would get killed around like level about like 4 minutes in, like from an invade or like just a gank or something, or even a counter gank, and then they would give up. Pretty much, they would play under the towers. They'd all play under the towers. Malrang just didn't do anything in the jungle because, to be fair, I think he didn't do very well either. But his laners were also just sitting under tower. Instead of Grace, who was playing a little okay for the mid lane, but like they just sat under tower. Sit there, lose that tower, go to the next tower, lose that tower, then you have no control of the map, lose the dragons, lose the barons, lose the rift heralds, or use the rift heralds and then get them stopped because you're using it in the middle of open, because Malrang did that 3 times in the first 4 weeks, and and then lose the game. Essentially, you just sit back and you lose the game slowly, and you don't make any chances to win the game. And that's kind of how they did it all split. And now, the first from what I've seen, with their win against SKT, frankly, should have beat SKT, by the way. They were up, like 10k gold in the first game that they threw, and then they just destroyed them in the second game. That should have been 2-0. Should have been 2-0 against SKT from Jin and I would have had to eat my shoe, I think I said, from the previous podcast, so I was sweating that one. But yeah, Jin is playing better. I'm still going to give the game to Gen G, because I think Gen G is also playing a bit better. It's like 100 Thieves where I can almost never pick Jin at the moment until I see more progress. I'm seeing progress, but it's just baby steps to what I need to see for them to actually win more than one, maybe 1-2 series this split. All right, let's go back. Game number 4 is SKT versus Kingzone. I'm honestly like everyone's like probably hyped for this game. I'm assuming because it's SKT and Kingzone right now. I think this is gonna be a blowout for Kingzone. Personally, I think that SKT is burnt. I think Team Liquid's burnt. I think IG is burnt until, and I'm not too worried about these teams until about. Let's give an arbitrary number of week 6. If they are under 500 by week 6, then I'm in panic mode. But so by the end of week 5, I should say, by going into week 6, by the end of week 5, if any of these teams are under 500 and on the outs of playoffs, then I'm worried. Before then, they're gonna lose some games. I honestly think this is gonna be a 2-0 by Kingzone. They're looking really good right now, and SKT just looks like a mess. They should have been 2-0 by Jin. That should explain enough to you about how much of a mess they are. I'm like doing weird things with my hands today. I probably do that all the time, do I? Always just my hands. Anyway. Next we have KT versus Damwon. I'm actually going to pick KT in this game because, like I said, I think the cracks on Damwon are pretty significant. Nagri's playing really bad again. Flames actually had some poor games as well, and just like Damwon as a whole is just really not that great at the moment. And KT, even though they did lose, they beat Jin, which again, that's not that important. So they kind of worry me with their only win against Jin, and they did lose to Hanwha pretty handily. So even though they did lose to Hanwha, I think that I'm still liking Prey in the bot lane. I think it's much better than Gango last year, and or last split. Damn. One day I will not say last year instead of last split. It's just a habit from regular sports. But yeah, I think that KT should be able to handle this one. 2-1. This will be a close one. I think they're kind of equal in skill, but I'm starting to think the only team that Damwon's going to be better than by the end of the year is Jin, possibly Genji, possibly. I'm I'm off. Whatever you could call like the opposite of a hype train is what I am with Damwon, which sucks. I really like the colors. I like the logo. That sounds really like petty that I don't like anything else. I do like the team as well. I love Flame from Immortals, and yeah, just disappointed in the team. Griffin versus Hanwha Life. Hanwha Life cannot beat teams that are ahead of them. That should be a 2-0 Griffin. Should not be a problem. Same thing with Kingzone. I am impressed with Afrika, but I'm really impressed with Kingzone. And honestly, I think after this week, even if unless Griffin 2-0s both games, I think that Kingzone will take the number 1 spot for me personally. Next, SKT versus Sandbox. I think that I think SKT's. Let's see. Let's work this out. You got Joker. You got Joker on the Sandbox. And then okay, and then you have Teddy Mata. But they're playing pretty weak right now. I mean, it's tough to pick because they are playing really weak. SKT is the better team, but they are playing really weak right now. I'll stick with SKT. I think it'll be a close 2-1, but I just can't see them losing both games this week. I think it'll be if they start the season 1-3. That's really rough, and I can't see that happening. KT over Genji. I'm actually gonna pick Genji. I know I just said that Genji is possibly pretty weak, and KT I have over Damwon, but I last time I picked Genji, or I picked KT to beat Genji, they lost both times, pretty bad. And I think that Genji is going to be coming off a nice confidence booster of Jin and coming in from there to. Because I'm still not 100% sold on KT beating Damwon, personally. I'm not 100% sold on the KT team. I know I saw, shout out to one guy on Twitter, I can't think of his name. Something like esports writer or something. I don't remember exactly. But he has like KT going to the finals. And, but he wants to predict. I believe he said he predicted KT to win the finals this split, and I think that was really bold. Really bold. There's still a lot of problems, and Score and Smeb, and they're not even playing honestly, but like I think that's what he was basing it on is them having a comeback here, and like with Prey coming back and everything coming back to normal, really hasn't happened too much yet. You see sparks of it every now and then, but I don't if they beat Genji, that's a good step in the right direction. I disagree, though. I think that Genji is making more progress to be a little bit better. I don't know. I know I have him 8th, but look, because I say that, and now I think about it, let's go here. Genji, KT, Genji moved up. That's good. They stayed the same, actually. KT. No, 7 was Sandbox, so they moved up. KT number 8. There we go. Changing power rankings on the fly when doing power rankings on the fly. Look at that. Next, we have final game. It's Jin versus Damwon Gaming. Ooh, I'm gonna do it, guys. This is how little I believe in Damwon. Jin will win this series 2-1. I am picking Jin. I know I just said you can't pick Jin. There's no way. And honestly, if there's a week to pick Jin, this is the week with Damwon and Genji. But I'm actually going to pick Jin to win 2-1. I know I'm going against everything I always say to never pick a team like this. But they should have 2-0'd SKT. And I'm really hoping that their coaches get in there and tell them that. Like, you should have done this. Like, not in a sense that you should have done this, you suck. Or is that you can play with SKT. If that means you can play with the rest of this team, let's just shore some weaknesses up and like build some confidence off of that. That should be a fantastic confidence booster that they really should have won the 2 games against SKT. So with that, I will pick Jin Air. This sounds like the boldest upset I've ever made just because I'm picking Jin Air. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Jin Air to win 2-1. Let's go Glad Plane. Let's this is gonna be one of my biggest regrets all year, pretty much, if I don't with Jin Air. I don't like this. I'm sticking with it, but I don't like it. Oh man, there we go. There's her bold Jin Air pick. Not gonna pick him there though. I thought about it, but no. So with that, I guess that will be the podcast. Only 20 minutes again. Apologize, and unless you guys like the quicker podcast, I don't know. But this is kind of how we do the wild card one. But tomorrow will be the LMS podcast for the first time this split. We haven't talked about them yet because they haven't started yet. And then after that will be Thursday will be LEC, and Friday will be all the wildcard regions where we add Japan to it because they also are starting this week. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry this was quick and I didn't really review the games, but yeah, hopefully this headache goes away. It's starting to go away with the ibuprofen. I probably could have done the games now that I feel about it. Like halfway through this podcast, it's kind of gone away. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for LMS.